Hello, Valerie Milano here in Palm Springs, California, right now, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and Aspiring Magazine. And I'm so happy to have our guest here today to talk about his film. And let's go for it. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cameron M. Brown, and I am the writer, director, co-producer, and editor of my short film entitled Batter Up Queen. And I'm currently based in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Louisiana.
Nice. Okay, Cameron. Um, Congratulations, by the way, on the world premiere of Batter Up Queen. What inspired this unexpected pairing of a drag queen and a young baseball player?
Oh gosh, the inspiration for this was it came from a pretty, I guess, I don't know, angered place, which you wouldn't guess from watching the movie. But I remember a few years ago when I was seeing a lot of really disheartening narratives being spread about age-appropriate interactions between drag queens and children, and also just narratives about queer and trans youth. And I simply wanted to tell a story that directly subverted that through joy, warmth, humor, kindness, because I knew that that was the most powerful way of subverting those narratives. And that was where the initial inspiration came from.
Beautiful. Yeah, well, you did a good job of it. The film brings queer vibrance into the traditionally masculine world of baseball. Why was that contrast important to you?
That contrast was really important to create because, well, I think for me personally, it tapped into my childhood, my upbringing, because I grew up playing t-ball and baseball for many years. And that suburban landscape that Marcus lives in and that Francis has to go in to babysit him is very reflective of where I grew up. And so that was where the idea initially came from. And then once I started incorporating more of those baseball, aesthetics and elements, I just realized how fun of an idea it was to turn these very, hypermasculine, typically heteronormative images and aesthetics into something queer. And I watched a lot of old baseball films in preparation for this film, and I was just thinking you know, how unique it is to take a lot of the tropes and visual and sonic elements of those films, but flip them on their head with this new queer story. I just thought that was so incredibly fun.
Nice. Okay. Fran, the character Fran initially sees babysitting Marcus, who's fabulous as well, as a humiliating job. Without giving too much away, what do they begin to recognize in one another?
They begin to recognize shared experiences. I think that's the core of where their friendship really begins. Yeah, that's all I'll say. So I don't.
Okay, I know that's a tough one. Yeah, without giving anything away. Um, you have said the film explores masculinity and fatherhood through humor. What did you want audiences to reconsider about those ideas?
I think I wanted audiences to reconsider where, I guess, productive, healthy forms of mentorship could come from. And that just because the direct image of what is helping a kid find who they are, giving them that sense of camaraderie that they need, even if that first image of it might discomfort you, I really wanted to show people, especially people who may not directly align with the message and the storytelling here, to just see like this is really helping that child, and this is bringing that child so much joy and so much, you know just that feeling of friendship that every child needs. And I think what so often happens with queer and trans youth is just they don't get that, and they're constantly scrutinized in their homes and at school and then within society. And I think it's just really important to display that image.
Very good, Cameron. That's a great way to put it. How did classic baseball and family films influence the look, the humor, or the storytelling style of the film?
Oh, those films. I can name a few that I watched so many times in the lead up to this film. A League of Their Own, The Sandlot, um, Angels in the Outfield was one that I watched, and I just loved how colorful and vibrant those films were, both in, visually, but also in their tones. They really embraced, sentimentality and those sort of feel good yeah, those feel good tropes that we don't really see as much in, modern popular film anymore. I think a lot of comedies and family films and, lighthearted fare tend to look a bit drabber nowadays. They tend to not carry that same, heartful punch. And I really wanted to call back to that era of filmmaking because, there's just nothing more there's even though those films may be campy and silly and a bit over the top, they still have an immense heart to them. And I wanted to bring those elements into this film and because it was really what the film needed. There were so many other places that I could have pulled inspiration from, but I found it to be the most powerful to play with those because, again, those films also never featured queer narratives. And so, yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, that's, yeah, interesting. So, what does it mean to premiere this film in Williamsport, the home of Little League Baseball at the River Valley Film Festival, which we are media partners with?
Yeah, yeah. I'm so excited to be premiering in Williamsport. The fact that that community that has baseball and Little League baseball so deeply rooted within its traditions and its culture. The fact that this film, which is also so deeply rooted in the tradition of American baseball, can premiere there is so special. And I cannot wait for Williamsport's community to engage with it. It felt perfect. Like submitting it and then receiving the selection and having it time to where it would be the film's world premiere. I was just like, this is perfect. There's no better festival, no more fitting festival that this could premiere at.
Wait, yeah. So, I know we're running out of time, but Marcus is amazing little boy, young man. Where did you find him? And tell me a little quick story about that at all.
I found Brendan Grant, who is the actor who plays Marcus, through my childhood acting coach, who this is a very sweet story about the pre-production of this film. I reconnected with an incredible lady who coached me when I was a child actor from like age 5 up until like my like early teenage years. And that once COVID came around, I didn't really act anymore. And so her and I lost touch. And fast forward like a decade, I knew I had a film that I was making that needed children. And I knew of someone who had child actors. And so I just reached out to her and she immediately showed me Brendan and was like, I think Brendan would be perfect for this role. And so it was so lovely being able to reconnect with her. Her name's Debbie Godet. It was so lovely being able to reconnect, and yeah, engage with this space of my childhood that I hadn't in a long time. And then just so happened she had an incredible actor. Just Brendan, I say this all the time, but he was pretty much exactly what I wrote, which is it's very special to have that.
That's beautiful. So after audiences watch Batter Up Queen, what do you hope stays with them? And then tell us maybe what's next for you after this world premiere.
Yeah. I hope I hope the central image and message of this film really resonates with people, and I just hope that they had had a ball watching it, had a grand old time, because the message and the core message and heart of this story is very important to me. But I also really just wanted to give people a fun, humorous, entertaining time at the movies, and so I hope they're entertained. I hope they laughed, and I hope it just warms their hearts a little. I think that just seeing how people have reacted to this film at like local community screenings and how heartwarmed and emotionally affected they were has just been incredible to watch. And this film is being submitted and sent to many more festivals. It's playing at Out South and the Baton Rouge Underground Film Festival in August. And we have it submitted to festivals throughout the rest of this year into the beginning of next year. So those are the main next steps for me and this film. And I just graduated from Tulane. This was my undergraduate thesis film there. And so also just navigating, the postgraduate next steps for myself personally.
I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations. And I believe you have a very happy future and successful future ahead of you. Please continue to keep the Hollywood Times dot today, hollywoodtimes.net, our official YouTube channels, the Hollywood Times official, and keep us posted on all your work, Cameron, because we would love to continue to follow you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. And will you be at Williamsport? Are you going to be at the festival?
I'm not going to be at the festival. I wish I could be. It didn't work out with timing and, the logistics of getting me there, but I really wish I could be there, but I can't
Yeah,
wait to hear about it from the people
for
that
sure.
are.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks so much again for your time today and your creativity, and keep up the great work, Cameron.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye for now.